I've been getting a lot of inquiries about how to buy a property cash. I know that for a lot of you, this is like a dream come true, having the possibility to go in and make a nice offer cash and make sure that you get a fast closing and also the biggest discount as possible. So what I decided to do was to create an episode that could help you get an idea of how you can actually accumulate enough cash, even though you might think it is not possible for you. But I created this episode just to show you that yes, it is possible and you can make it happen a lot sooner than you think. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode at NOVARISE Invest. If this is your first time tuning into this channel, well, let me tell you, this is your channel for real estate education. So today's episode will be all about purchasing a property cash. I know that for some of us, having the possibility to make a purchase in cash might seem like a dream that it will never happen. And that if it were to happen, it could be one of those dreams that could take you maybe 10 or 20 something years to make it happen. Just like my parents, they actually saved a long time. They saved for at least 25 years before they can finally purchase the home cash. But I'm here to tell you that that doesn't have to be you. Now, for those who have been following this channel for a long time, you know that having cash on hand will typically give you the best advantage possible. Why? Because you can ensure a faster closing, and the seller likes faster closing. And then you can also negotiate better pricing, because most sellers, they don't want to deal with the bank, they don't want to deal with the appraisals, they don't want to deal with all these inspections. So when you come into the equation with cash on hand, you can make sure that you're creating a win-win situation, not just for you, but also for the seller. So now what we're going to do is to jump straight into the tablet so you can look at the sources that you have that maybe you weren't even aware that you had on hand to make the purchase of a property cash possible. All right, so we have our screen right here. And what is the first thing that comes to mind every time you think about buying a property cash? Well, if you guess savings, then you are on the right page, right? So savings is typically the first thing that comes in mind. And like I said, you can save for 10, 20 years like my parents did and finally get the opportunity to purchase a property cash. But if you're watching this channel, the chances are you're looking to shorten that time as fast as possible, right? So you don't really have to wait 10 to 20 years. What you need to do is just to simply be aware of how much you have in savings and see how far away you are from purchasing that house of your dreams. So let's say, for example, you want to buy a property that costs roughly about $300,000, right? Depending on the market that you're in. So we're going to leverage $300,000. And let's say that over the years so far, you managed to save $50,000 cash, right? So that's a great deal right there. So you got 50,000. Let's just keep this number handy right here. And then now you're thinking, okay, so I'm short by $250,000. So what else do I need to do? Now, a lot of you might not be aware about this. You should actually take a look at your paycheck and see where exactly is your money going. Because I've noticed that a lot of the companies are offering retirement plans, and sometimes their employees are not even aware that they have a retirement plan. Sometimes what companies do is to start taking your money out of your paycheck automatically and help you start funding that retirement plan. The second way for you to get access to more cash is by leveraging your retirement plan. So examples of that could be your 401k or IRAs. And this is a great tool that most companies offer, and you should actually really take advantage of it. Funny enough, sometimes I'm surprised about how many people have access to a retirement plan that they're just simply not aware of it. So if you don't know whether you have a retirement plan or not, just simply take a look at your paycheck, and then underneath the pay stub description, you will see the amount of taxes that have been withdrawn at the federal level, at the state level, sometimes even at the city level, depending on where you live. And then sometimes you will see a withdrawal that it's coming out of your paycheck that goes towards a retirement plan. So this is an excellent tool for you to start leveraging or paying attention to. Most companies, what they do to make sure that their employees have some type of retirement money by the time they achieve retirement age, is that they set you on an automated plan. So what is an automated plan? They sometimes have a minimum, let's say they automatically enroll you in it, and then they start deducting 3%. But however, there are some of us who are more, let's say, in tune, or who pay more attention to retirement plans. And what we do, or what you can do, is just to simply just read about the instructions and read about what the company has to offer. Sometimes companies, they offer what it's called a company match, right? So what is a company match? So they typically have a minimum for you to withdraw from your paycheck. So let's say automatically, just to get you enrolled, is like 3%. But some companies will say something like, well, if you invest 10%, or if you withdraw 10% of your paycheck to your retirement plan, we'll help you match whatever goes after 6%. So let's say you are withdrawing 10% of your check, and then whatever is above 6% is 7, 8, and 9%. That means the company will offer an additional 3%, right? And now you will have a 13%, 10% came from you, and then 3% actually came from the company. They're actually help you fund your retirement plan. Now, this is just an arbitrary example. Not every single company out there offers a matching program, but if they do, you should in fact take advantage of it, right? So a 401k, once again, it's a great tool for you to leverage to buy a company cash. You have two choices in terms of leveraging your retirement money. One is through a withdrawal, which I don't recommend because you have to pay a lot of taxes, and you also have to pay a 10% penalty fee. However, you can actually borrow against your 401k. So let's say you have enough money accumulated, and now you have the possibility to borrow $25,000, right, from your 401k. So now we're talking about $50,000 and $25,000. We're having a total of $75,000 so far, right? So when you combine these two. Now, let's say, all right, so 300,000 minus 75,000, that leaves me at 225. I'm still $225,000 short. What else can I do? Well, there are other tools that you can definitely leverage, and these are not the only ones. But before I move on to the next tool that you can leverage, if you're enjoying this episode, do not forget to hit the like button right here at the bottom so you can help this episode rank and help others like you who are looking for information of this kind. And if you happen to know somebody within your circle, call it a family member or a friend who you know are looking for this type of information, feel free to share the love and send this episode their way so they can learn more about the subject. Now, back to this tablet, right? Another tool, or another way where you can actually start accumulating cash, it's through the use of life insurance, particularly index universal life, okay? Now, I know that there's a lot of negative connotations on life insurance. A lot of people think that they have to be dead in order to take advantage of the life insurance. But no, I'm here to tell you that you do not need to be deaf. There are, in fact, products available in the market that will allow you to get the best of both worlds. And what do I mean by that? Well, they will allow you to make a use of the life insurance while you're dead through the cash accumulation. And at the same time, make sure that there's a sizable death benefit for your family members in the event that you're no longer here. So for those who are actually looking to learn more about life insurance, particularly about Index Universal Life, there is an episode that I created a couple of years ago. So all you have to do is just to simply go down on the description box and click on the link about Index Universal Life so you can learn all about the subject. But back to this tablet, what does life insurance allow you to do? Once again, it allows you to protect your loved ones, but then at the same time, you can set it up in a way that it works as a savings account, as a savings/investment account. So every month you're going to add money towards it, and what it will do, it will accumulate cash value over time. And because it is invested, that money has been invested, it will accumulate gains over the years. So the more it gains over the years, the more cash accumulation you will acquire over the years. So let's say, for example, that over the years, you started really young, you purchased your Index Universal Life when you're really young, and you managed to negotiate great premiums because you were young and healthy. Let's say you, over the years, managed to accumulate $100,000. So you can, in fact, take $100,000 and just simply withdraw that money, or you can borrow against that money, and that will give you another contribution to get to where you need to get to. So now we're talking about $100,000. So when you take this $100,000 into consideration, that means that you now are sure, let's say $100,000, that you are only sure $125,000 $125,000. So that means all you need to worry about now is $125,000. And how do you get a hold of $125,000? That's still a lot of money. Well, let's just go on to the next tool. And that is through the use of credit cards. And now, I know that for some of you, it might be really hard to believe. Some of you are very skeptical. Some of you might even be laughing about the idea of leveraging credit cards. In fact, when I first launched this channel, one of the very first episodes that I created was, in fact, leveraging credit cards to help you invest in real estate. This is a strategy that a lot of real estate investors are utilizing. You just have to be a little bit more creative than the average person in order to see this through, in order to make this happen. So there are two ways and how you can actually invest in real estate through the use of credit cards. One, it's of course using some of your personal credit cards, which I don't recommend. Credit cards at 0% APR. And if you're planning on leverage your personal credit cards, you have to make sure that the utilization of those are under 30%. What do I mean by that? So let's say, for example, you have a total of $10,000 across all your credit cards, right? Those are all your credit lines. So 30% of that is $3,000. So as long as you don't use over $3,000, then your FICO won't be as heavily impacted, and it will show the lenders that you're actually managing your money intelligently and responsibly. But this episode was not created for those who are looking to invest in real estate with a mortgage. You're watching this episode because you're looking to buy a property cash, right? So the personal option, although it's good, it won't work for you in this video. What you want to do is to leverage business credit cards. Why do you want to use business credit cards? Well, for once, it doesn't appear on your FICO score. So you can actually max out on the use of those credit cards, and it won't impact your credit in the event that you want to, just save it for like any future investments, or let's say you just don't want to touch or damage your FICO at all under no circumstances. So the beauty about using business credit is that it doesn't impact your FICO. And at the same time, depending on how well you manage your business credit, you tend to get access to higher credit lines, right? So credit lines. And for those who are still a little skeptical, no, it doesn't mean you're going to get one credit card for $125,000, although you could eventually, but no, that's not how it works. What you want to do is to leverage multiple credit cards. So let's say you get approved for one at $10,000, then you get another one at $10,000, then you can get another one at $30,000. And so on. And that way, once you add all of those different business credit cards together, you will eventually have the ability to make up for the difference. And that's the $125,000 that you're falling short, which through the use of business credit, you will make all of it available and accessible to you. And that is how you will manage to get access to all the cash that you need, so you can come in and buy a property cash, nice and clear, without dealing with any lenders whatsoever. So that is pretty much all I have for you today. Hopefully you found this episode useful. And while I still have you here, do not forget to check this episode right here. That's going to help you complement everything you just learned today. And until then, I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye-bye.